Hello and welcome to my channel and welcome to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. Today I want to go over something that happened the other day in the update, yesterday for most people and maybe today for a lot of you as well. We had 10 new heroes added to the roster, and the game doesn't really make it very easy to see who those new heroes were, because as they're added to your roster in an update, they didn't really point out in the update who it was, and in your roster it doesn't really highlight them in any manner to let you know they're new. So you just kind of have to be very familiar with your roster and notice who's new, or like I did, take some screenshots before the update so that you can go back through and comb back through it and figure out who got added. Before the update yesterday, I was 55 out of 95, and now I'm 55 out of 105. So that means that 10 new characters got added. And I was going to go through the roster and show you each new character and kind of talk about each one of them skills, but the roster is so difficult to deal with because every single time you click on a character and then click off the character, it automatically resets the roster all the way back up to the start, and it will not keep your position. So I didn't want to make a whole video of me sitting here scrolling through the roster over and over and over again to get back where I was every single time. So I come up with this idea. One of the ways that I can show you the new characters, I went and took some screenshots of them all so that I can basically just show you who the new characters are. I won't be able to tap on the screenshots and see the specifics of the skills, but we can at least see who the 10 new ones were, like I said, and I'll just make this a shorter video and maybe go into a deep dive about the new character skills later on. But for now, if you would like to know the 10 new characters, then you're in luck, because I got that for you. So number 1, we have a new blue Jon Snow called the Bastard of Winterfell. He is a fighter, and he is also part of the Stark faction. This one kind of caught me off guard, honestly, because we've already got 2 Jon Snows. I mean, I get it that he's like one of the main characters of Game of Thrones lore in the show, in other words, and, you know, in the books and stuff, but why do we need 3? I don't know. There's just so many other people that need added to the roster, and I really don't understand why they add 3 of him, but whatever. So that was the first one. The second one is one we've kind of been waiting on for a long time now, and that's Ramsay Bolton. He is the leader of the Flayed Men faction, the Boltons. They're really strong in their effect that they apply called Bleed, and we were kind of waiting on him because people that kind of theory craft builds and stuff have been thinking that a Bleed build was going to be very, very powerful when we got certain characters, and he was one of the ones we were waiting on. So in the next couple weeks, you should see some information getting out there about a Bleed build team. I think most people that know what they're doing about building teams and stuff and are familiar with the synergies are going to kind of start theory crafting around this guy. He's a red, and he is the Bolton faction. He's the Bolton leader. He has leadership ability. The next one that was added was a purple. He is Tormund Giantsbane. He's a free folk. He has a synergy bonus with one of the other new characters that was added that we'll talk about here in just a minute. But yeah, Tormund, he's a wildling, a wild folk, free folk faction. Pretty cool character. I really love him in the show. He's hilarious. He's always brings a laugh, you know, to the show because he's always saying something that's just off the wall and out there. You know, take no nonsense, no prisoners type of guy, but he has a sense of humor, you know, and he knows how to party. He'd be a good guy to party with, that's for sure. The next one we have is the one that he has synergy with, and that's 1-1. 1-1 is called the last of his kind for a reason, because in the show he was a giant, and he was one of the last giants to populate the frozen north, and he was part of the Free Folk army. He was about, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 feet tall, carried a club that was more like a tree, and in the show he was pretty hardcore, did a lot of damage, and he has a very, very interesting ability. I wish I could tap on the abilities because I would like to talk about his ability, but I think this guy is going to be I think this guy's going to be some meta right here, because he has an ability where he allows his team to get stealthed, his whole team. And then once you get him down the road of like 6 or 7 stars, he has the ability to stealth his whole team the whole battle. Wow, this guy is going to be huge later on down the road when people have a chance to get their heroes up. Another Boltyn that was added was a green Boltyn Bannerman. He is part of House Boltyn, the Flayed Men. He also, synergizes well with the bleed mechanic. He's an epic, and he's, another Boltyn. What do you say? We have an Ironborn Berserker. We have the Drowned God, Ironborn people, faction, whatever you want to call him. He is an epic, and he was newly added. He's red. He's a fighter. Has interesting abilities, but very bad accuracy. We have Servant of the Drowned God, another one of that faction that was added. He is, I don't know if he's like a healer or something. I'm not really sure. I didn't really take time to look at his skills that much, but he is a blue, and that is a pretty difficult color to come by. I seem to see that in most of my parties that the blue is kind of the hardest one for me to fill with a good slot, so maybe he'll make a good one for that color category. The next one is another Boltyn, another red, a Boltyn Pikeman. He is a common, but he could be part of a Boltyn bleed party, possibly. I'm not really sure. Don't really know about his skills very much. Another Ironborn, the Sailor of Saltcliff, the Ironborn Scout. He was added as a purple, so he helps round out that faction. Another one in that faction, the Greyjoy Raider, Saltcliff Marauder. He is another common, could possibly round out a team of the Greyjoys, the Iron Island people. So that was the 10 characters that were added to the game during the update that happened yesterday. Maybe that helped you kind of make sense of who got added if you didn't really take a record beforehand, so you could suss it out and figure out who it was. The game needs to get a little better at notifying us either through patch notes or through some kind of indicator on your roster, to where when a new character is added, they're highlighted until you look at them or something like that, to kind of let you know who's new and who's been added. Because right now it's just kind of throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks type of thing, and I think they need to do a better job at kind of explaining things and pointing things out to players a little bit better. But anyway, that was my video today. I just wanted to kind of show you who the 10 new characters were that got added, and I want you to know that I really appreciate your watching my content, and I hope you have a great day.